Basketball. There's nothing like college basketball done right, and TCU is doing it right. The Star Telegram. It is so obvious that this is more than a job for Dixon. It's his mission. He won't stop until he makes TCU basketball a destination, and he is well on his way. There's nothing like college basketball done right, and we're doing it right now, Dixon said. The atmosphere you saw on Monday and the atmosphere we've had here in recent years, I mean, it shows. It's important to your school, it's important to your students. The improved atmosphere is getting through to television viewers, too. Dixon, who played at TCU in the 1980s, said high school coaches during a recruiting trip earlier this week were commenting on the change. "It just brings a smile to my face," he said. "There's no question one of my reasons for coming back here was sitting in Pittsburgh and watching games at TCU on TV and the atmosphere. It was not fun to watch as an alumnus when there was nobody in the stands and there was more of the other team's fans there. That's not what you want to see. No." 10 Texas Tech on defensive at TCU. Fox Sports defense always travels, but the Frogs have been so good on offense at home. Should be a fun one. "We won this game with our defense," TCU coach Jamie Dixon said. "It's been our weakness, but it seems to be getting better. These are benchmarks for us, and milestones. We can do some good things in the second half of the conference season." The Horned Frogs' offense and balanced attack are good enough to make them one of the best teams in the loaded Big 12, and they hope make a deep run in the NCAA tournament. But learning from mistakes on the defensive end will really decide exactly how good TCU will be. "You have to learn through mistakes and losses, and we're seeing that, to a degree, especially on the defensive end," Dixon said. "We've lost a lot close games to really good teams." Football. Breaking down Colby Lisenby's lawsuit against TCU, Gary Patterson and the Big 12. Sports Illustrated. Lisenby went to TCU earlier on hoping to settle, but TCU wasn't willing to settle, and has filed a countersuit. "It's going to get worse before it gets better, that much we know." Lisenby recalls a number of inflammatory statements that he attributes to specific people, most especially Patterson. It is unclear if Lisenby has evidence corroborating that these statements occurred. For instance, are there any recordings of what Patterson allegedly threatened in his interactions with Lisenby? Did Lisenby memorialize Patterson's threats, such as through a handwritten journal or through emails and texts to his family or friends? Well, witnesses, such as former teammates, back up Lisenby that these remarks were actually made. Along those lines, Lisenby's complaint details the chain of events as he recalls them and in a light most favorable to his case. TCU and Patterson, in particular, will offer additional facts that attempt to refute or at least downplay assertions offered by Lisenby. Expect the defendants to argue that Lisenby's health was a paramount concern and that they would never knowingly place a player in a position that could cause him further harm or that would interfere with his recovery. They might say Lisenby wasn't clear about his injury and his recovery. Perhaps they have emails or texts from Lisenby that cast him in a different light than how he is portrayed in his own complaint. Charges dropped against former TCU QB in Dallas. The Star Telegram. Hopefully, Trey can put his legal problems behind him and secure his place in the NFL. Public intoxication charges against former TCU quarterback Drayvon Boykin have been dismissed by Dallas County prosecutors, according to CBS DFW. Boykin was arrested in March 2017 after a car he was a passenger in crashed in uptown Dallas. He was arrested on suspicion of possession of marijuana and public intoxication. Swimming. TCU head swimming and diving coach Sam Bush put on administrative leave. TCU 360. An unfortunate turn of events for a program that might have 3 coaches in 1 year after having one for nearly 4 decades. "You want student athletes to have a world-class experience, whatever you can afford for them to have," Bowden said. "It's as frustrating to us as it is to them to say to them that the commitment you made to TCU that we made back to you is not going as well as we thought it would. It's a sad situation."